Hello everybody and welcome to RoXolid Productions, where in this episode we discuss whether or not you should buy the Nintendo Switch 6 months in. Hello everybody, Gary here with RoXolid Productions, and we are here today with my launch day Switch. That's right, I got this Nintendo Switch the night that it came out. In fact, if you want, check out our unboxing video up there. We had always intended to do a review of the Nintendo Switch, but we saw a lot of them out there. We didn't want to just get lost in the shuffle. But that's where we're at today, is we kind of wanted to go through and look at 6 months after, how has the Nintendo Switch progressed from day one. Let's talk about the Switch itself too, because the way it comes out of the box, it's what's called a hybrid console. As you can see, you can hook it up to your television, but you can also take it with you on the go. You just slide it out of this dock with it, which it comes with, and you can play on the go. The system comes with the system itself, which is built around an NVIDIA Shield tablet, or a variation thereof. Comes with the dock itself. These two controllers here, which are called Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Con grip. And let's show you those real quick. So first of all, we have the Joy-Con grip, and it has little rails on each side and LED indicators that will tell you the power level of each controller individually. Now, when the Joy-Cons are connected to the Switch console, the console does charge up the grips. And as I take it out of the dock, you can see that the TV is now off and everything has transferred to the console, or to the handheld, I mean. So in handheld mode, you're looking at a 720p resolution on the TV, 1080p, so it is not 4K capable. At least as of right now, there are rumors that there may be 4K capable hardware in the unit, and that all that you need to do is push a firmware update. I don't know how reliable I take that. Yeah, I don't know. So like I mentioned, you can use it with the Joy-Cons on the side. You can actually also slide these off. There's a little button on the back, and these slide out, and you can see the little battery indicators there. It does have an L and the R on the top, along with your analog control stick, your up, down, left, right, which also acts as an A, B, X, Y when you are using it like sideways, say you were playing Super Mario Kart. On the other Joy-Con, it is virtually identical, although the button layout is slightly different. We'll stick them side by side, and you can see that actually we'll stick them this way, so you can see the position of the analog stick and the buttons in relation to the rest of the Joy-Con. But one thing that this does have is a little sensor on the bottom, very similar to what the Wii remotes had, but there's no sensor bar. The way Nintendo basically pitched it is, out of the box, the resolution is so good that it can determine what's on screen or whatever. It doesn't need a separate sensor bar. Now, if you do want to play this portably, it does have a little kickstand right here, and under this kickstand is a slot for a micro SD card. Built-in speakers on the back, and overall very good unit to hold in the hand. If you are using in tabletop mode, one of the things that's kind of been a bummer is this kickstand is, well, it's a little anemic. It's really not up to the task. It'd be nice if it was either wider, or if there was one on this side, one on that side, to provide better support, especially for a $300 unit that you don't want to see take a tumble. Talking about the price of the unit itself, the accessories for the Switch aren't what I would call inexpensive. Let's talk about extra Joy-Cons. You're looking 50 bucks for those, or 80 bucks for a pair. Another thing you can do, and this is what I would really recommend if you're serious about gameplay, is this is the Nintendo Pro Controller for the Switch, and it just turned itself on when I grabbed it here, but you can navigate through the menu with it. Very similar to a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One controller. Has your analog stick, your D-pad, analog stick on this side, ABXY, LR, ZL, ZR buttons on top. It is charged on here along with the system itself uses USB-C, so it will charge faster than a normal micro USB connector. Very well balanced, and another cool thing, if you do collect amiibos, you can actually use this with amiibos. There's a little sensor right about there. You set your amiibo on and it will transfer your data. Another cool thing about the Switch is it is the first Nintendo console since the Nintendo 64 to use cartridges. And let's go through some of the cartridges that I currently have for the system. So I do own Splatoon 2, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and at launch I did pick up a copy of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we'll get more into Zelda in a few minutes. And there you can see the size of the game itself. That's all the game is, about the size of an SD card. And one of the things that Nintendo did that was very popular at launch is that they did add a flavor agent basically to the plastics so that little kids did not put the cartridges in their mouth and swallow them. Very small cases, very cool cases here. So we do have the system on screen right now, and we are going to kind of walk you through the different features in the menu, and I am for that going to use not the Pro Controller, not the Joy-Cons. This is the 8BitDo Super NES gamepad, which is compatible with the system. Now, the Joy-Cons and the Pro Controller have a feature called HD Rumble, which it's the weirdest rumble I've ever felt on any controller, but it's really cool when it happens. These do not have that. However, 8BitDo is working on a controller that will have the rumble feature. And in addition, if you're not into that style, they do offer two other controllers, well actually several other controllers that are compatible. Both the NES30 and the NES30 Pro are compatible with the system. You simply need to download a firmware update to be able to connect it to the system. But talking about the system, let's go from the top down. You have your avatars or your Miis for whomever you're going to play as. That's mine. That's my daughter's. You have your game list here. Kind of uninspired, very basic, very straightforward. At the bottom, you have information for the latest news. You can go to the eShop, look at photos that you've captured, pair or turn off controllers, go into the system settings. We'll go into each of these real quick. So here's just the news where you can get like Kirby information, staff picks, what's new. You can subscribe to different channels as well. And you can just select here from whatever you want to subscribe to. Here you can see that I'm subscribed to the Super Mario Odyssey channel. Hit the B button to go back out of here. Let's go to the eShop, because the eShop has been a little bit controversial. As of right now, there is no virtual console on the Nintendo Switch. And by that I mean you can't download NES, Super NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, any older systems, you can't download games for it. Although you do have options to download similar type games, I guess would be the best. Like for example, I just noticed earlier tonight, Double Dragon 4 is available for $6.99. I will be downloading and reviewing that. Other games, RBI Baseball is back for 30 bucks. You can also download the full retail version of games such as Mario Kart, Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Let's go back out of here. You can go and sort through bestsellers. So here you can see right now Mario Rabbids is number 1, Sonic Mania 2, Overcooked is 3. Coming soon. This is where I like to jump in here every once in a while to kind of take a look at what's coming out. Sometimes too, games will have demos in here, like Rayman Legends, the Definitive Edition. There is a demo you can download in here. But then this is the game here coming 10/27/2017, Super Mario Odyssey. Very excited about that game. So that's the eShop, and then finally you can enter a code for a Nintendo eShop prepaid code or download code. I'm going to give you a piece of advice here. Never download or pay for codes directly through the eShop. Never go to like a Walgreens or a Walmart, Toys R Us, GameStop. Don't buy cards for the eShop there. If you have a Sam's Club membership, or if you have a Target credit or debit card, you can purchase Nintendo eGift Shop codes at a reduced price. At Target, it's 5% off. Sam's Club, they kind of vary the price, but it's normally at least 5% off. So don't buy the gift cards or don't put funds on your eShop through the app. You can go online and do it, have it emailed to you. It's like getting free money. At the very least, it covers the cost of taxes. So there's my tip for you there. So that's basically how that works. The album, you can actually take screenshots using the photo button on the controller, both on the Joy-Cons and on the Pro controller. So you can kind of see some of the stuff that we have here. Kind of think that looks like I'm giving the camera a finger there. So pretty neat feature that they have on there. And then your controller, this is where you can pair controllers, your settings, and power mode. So let's go in. I was actually playing Sonic Mania a little bit earlier. Let's actually show you some gameplay here. And I am going to be playing with the 8BitDo gamepad. So I'm going to restart this one. Yes. We're playing Sonic on a Nintendo console with the Super NES gamepad. I feel like I am in the Twilight Zone. Now, one thing for filming right now is I do have game mode on my television turned off, and that is simply because you cannot, on Samsung Smart TVs, cannot turn the brightness down if you have game mode enabled. So I've got a little bit of lag and latency here, which I'm trying to play around. But as you can see, Sonic Mania looks great, sounds great. It's an amazing, amazing title, and we're gonna jump in here. And we'll give you a little bit more gameplay here where you can grab the blue spheres. Let's see if I can, oh, this one's gonna be tough with the latency. There you can see, it bit me right in the rear end. So, but that's basically, gameplay, how it works. Now let's say I want to go to the main menu. All I have to do is hit down and select exactly like the NES Classic. So let's show you how you actually put a game into the system. There's a little flap right here. You just pull down with your thumbnail, and the games will only go in one direction, and it is labeled towards the front of the console. Pop it in, and we will redock, and this generally takes just a moment here. And there we have everything back up. And let us go into some Super Mario Kart Deluxe. Now, this has been one of the cool things about the Switch is they have re-released several really good Wii U titles that may not have seen the adaptation, but at the same time, I feel a little bit robbed because I've already paid for this content once before. Hey, I've collected 1,000 coins. It kind of bums me out having to buy, or not having, but buying the same game twice. And we will get everything going. That's the new car, don't care. And this is everything running straight off of the cartridge itself. Slight load time, but nothing terrible. Nothing like playing off of a disc. And again, so you can see I am actually using the SNES controller. Oh, wrong button. Even with a little bit of lag and latency on here right now, it's actually not bad at all. So we're going to press down and select to go back to the home screen. System works good. It's very snappy, very reliable. I have not had any issues with the system. So overall, what did Nintendo get right with the Switch? First of all, they nailed the fact that people actually wanted to play high-quality games on the go. And while the 3DS and before that the DS and the DSi were extremely popular, it never really had the adaptation that people have driven and just fallen in love with the Switch. It's a home console quality on the go. The games the good games are really, really good. I'll put it to you that way. Like, even though I already had Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Wii U, I love this version. It's so much fun. My daughter and I, we play all the time, and it's great fun. Other games such as Sonic Mania, oh my goodness, it is amazing how good that game is. The demos that they have, Rayman Legends is really good. Puyo Puyo Tetris, I had never played Puyo Puyo before. It's a lot of fun. Blaster Master Zero has made me want to go back and actually buy the original Blaster Master for the S and play it. The Pro Controller is exceptional as far as the fit and the feel and just the balance that it has. The fact that it works with Amiibos, that the system works with Amiibos, makes you feel less like you got ripped off if you do decide to upgrade from the Wii or the Wii U. They've also done a very good job defining what the Switch is and that it is a different console. It's one of the problems many people have said that Nintendo had going from the Wii to the Wii U was people didn't understand it was a different system. And versus people just thought, oh, it's this tablet, what, I don't need this. No, it was a different system. It was a great underrated system. Still had some gimmicky controls. They destroyed Star Fox is terrible on the Wii U because of the control scheme. The battery life is solid. I love the fact it's USB Type-C, so it does charge up faster. The dock does have USB ports on the side, so I can charge extra accessories like the Pro Controller if I wanted to. The Joy-Con dock itself that comes with the system is actually pretty usable. It's not terrible. It doesn't feel as good as the Pro Controller does, but it's not bad. So what would I like to see Nintendo improve? First of all, their demo system, it's terrible. Let me explain. So like I say, for like Snipper Clippers and for Rayman and for Blaster Master Zero, tons of fun because I can download and play when I want to. The demo of Splatoon 2, you had an hour from this time to this time on this date that you could play the demo. And if you didn't get online to play at that point in time, you were screwed. You couldn't play it. ARMS was the exact same thing, and it looks like they're doing it with their first person or their first run IPs. And it just makes it very difficult to try a game, a $60 game, to see if you like or not. Splatoon 2, let's actually get into some of the games too with things that could be improved. The Wii U version, a ton of fun, so much fun, and I was eagerly looking forward to Splatoon 2 on the Switch because my daughter and I like to play the game together. There's no local co-op mode for Splatoon 2. There's no local you can't play together. What? What? Really? If I wanted to play two-person co-op on Splatoon 2, you know what you have to do? You buy another Switch and another copy of the game. $360 if you want to play Splatoon 2 in your living room. Tell me how that makes sense. No. And I will probably get flamed for this. Zelda Breath of the Wild, been called the most beautiful Zelda game ever. Been called the best Zelda game ever. Been called Game of the Year. I don't like it. I don't. I am not a fan of it. There's too much meandering and grinding. You know, if you want to know my feeling on it, go watch Clerks 2, the scene where they talk about Lord of the Rings. A little snippet here for you. Here's the first movie. Here's the second movie. Even the trees walked in the movie. Same thing on, all you do is walk and walk and yes, I know you eventually get the horses and everything. I don't want to grind. I don't. That is not fun to me. The fact the weapons break, that's disheartening. why continue to work if you know that your weapon that you can only carry so many of is eventually just going to break on you? It really, to me, ruined the experience. Now, just for comparison's sake, my favorite in the series is A Link to the Past. I like the linear gameplay. Dungeon 1 to Dungeon 2 to Dungeon 3. You get the weapon to beat Dungeon 1 in Dungeon 1, to beat Dungeon 2 in Dungeon 2, so on and so forth. That's the type of Zelda games I like. I like Twilight Princess, which had a lot of that. I didn't play a lot of Skyward Sword, but I just really couldn't get into it. I'm also not a big Wind Waker fan either. It's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous game. It's just not my cup of tea. They also need to do better on their release schedule as far as getting their first party games out to market. There's a Metroid game coming. That's awesome. We don't know when. All we know is Metroid 4 is coming. Ooh. I would like to see them bring the Virtual Console to the system too. You know, one of the things with why they cut back production supposedly on the NES Classic was, well, the Switch is coming and you'll be able to play everything on the Switch. You still can't do that. There's new games that you can download, but you can't go back yet and play classic games. Their online service right now is free. It's kind of limited. So games like Splatoon 2, you can use the online service. ARMS you can play online for, some of the other games along those lines. But if you wanted to actually download a copy of the original Super Mario Brothers to play on your Switch, can't do it yet. Rumor is about $20 a year is what they're looking at for the service. Should be available in 2018 sometime. Also, the accessories, and I think I've mentioned this before, the accessories are ridiculously expensive. $80, $70 or $80 for a second set of Joy-Cons? No. $90 for a second dock if I'd want to take my Switch and play upstairs in my game room that you guys have seen? No. Now, third-party manufacturers are jumping on board and supporting the system to bring you accessories at a lower cost. Like I say, instead of buying 2 Joy-Cons for $70 or $80, whatever they are, I bought this for $30 or $35 off of Amazon, and there's just something cool about playing Mario Kart 8 with the Super Nintendo controller. It just is. Nico has another dock coming out for about $50 at the end of September 2017 that will allow you to have a second dock in a second room. So it's still pricey, but it's $40 less than buying the official Nintendo one. Onboard storage, I like the fact that you can add a micro SD card, but man, storage is so cheap now, especially like this should have come with a 250 gig onboard storage. There's no reason that it couldn't have, especially when they're wanting you to download games digitally versus having physical copies. It's just really annoying. Overall, 6 months on, I've had kind of a love-hate relationship with the Switch. When it was just Breath of the Wild, I was really regretting my purchase. Now that other games have started to trickle out, I'm enjoying it more and more. It's still not my go-to gaming platform. I'm actually playing more retro stuff right now than anything else. But as far as the modern consoles, I don't own an Xbox One, but I've been playing my PS4 more lately than my Switch. Until games like Splatoon 2 came out, that has really made a huge difference. And then, like I mentioned too, Super Mario Odyssey will be out soon. I'm going to bury myself in that game when it comes out. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel because we will have gameplay footage of that when it comes out. So overall, the Nintendo Switch at $300, it's a little expensive. I wish I would have had a pack-in game. I wish it had more storage. I wish the accessories were cheaper. I wish. Nintendo's selling a ton of these stupid things right now. So I'm just one person who has an opinion. What say you? Do you have a Switch? And if you do, what do you think of it? What are the games that you're playing? Like I say, I don't have a ton. I've got my 4 here, plus Sonic Mania. I'm going to be downloading Double Dragon 4 here in a little bit as soon as we're done recording. Probably do some capture on it too. What do you think of the Switch? Let us know down in the comments. You can also let us know by emailing us at roxsolidmail@gmail.com. We answer all of our emails. You can also hit us up on Twitter at RoXolid Studios. Visit us on Facebook too, facebook.com/RoXolid Productions. You can also help support the show if you would like. We've talked about it before. YouTube has really pinched content creators as far as monetization on their videos. You can bypass that altogether. If you like what we do, you want to help support the channel, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/RoXolid. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us create cool videos, get new games that we can review, bring you the latest and greatest in technology. So I am Gary with RoXolid Productions, and would I recommend the Nintendo Switch 6 months later? Yeah, I would. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I marked out when I saw it. I wasn't going to buy it initially, but then I saw the videos of Mario Odyssey, of Splatoon 2, of Breath of the Wild, and I had to have it. I'm glad I do. I'm glad it's in my collection. I won't be selling it. I enjoy it. But I really want Nintendo to make some great first-party games. I want to see third-party developers make great games for the Switch too. In 2018, you know what I want? I want a copy of Madden. I want Madden on the Switch. You know what I want in 2018? I want F1 2018 on the Switch. You know what I want on the Switch? I want NASCAR Heat 3 on the Switch. We're already getting WWE 2K18 on the Switch. Please, developers, help support this system. It's really, really good. I also want to see the Virtual Console finally make an appearance. It's long overdue, 6 months in. It's really inexcusable at this point that they haven't released the Virtual Console. But patience often is rewarded. We're supposed to be getting some cool perks like S and Super NES games every month when you're subscribed. So speaking of subscribing, make sure you're subscribed here. Hit the button, please. Hit that button down there. Subscribe to the channel. Anyways, guys, I am Gary. This is RoXolid Productions. This is the Nintendo Switch. And yes, you should buy one. We'll see you soon.